How many ounces of silver do you have? The stakes are high when you buy precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium. You want to protect yourself. You want to protect your family. You want to protect your wealth. But it is so much easier to make a mistake than it is to do the right thing. The process of buying precious metals is fraught with landmines. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the common mistakes that all of us make, how we can avoid them, and how, in the end, we can end up with more silver, more gold, more platinum, more palladium, and more security. Let's get started right now. I really wish I didn't have to tell you this. I'm an American through and through, but do not buy American Silver Eagles. The premiums charged on American Silver Eagles now are ridiculous. $10, $12, $13 per ounce. It's just not worth it. It's obvious that the U.S. Mint does not want to provide American citizens with reasonably priced silver bullion. Remember that old song, "You Better Shop Around"? My mama told me I better shop around. I'm not going to sing for you, but I'm going to tell you, when you're buying silver, gold, platinum, or palladium, you better shop around. Don't rely solely on one source to buy your metals, because prices can fluctuate and vary wildly. A lot of times it depends on what level of supply any individual dealer may have at any time, and they will adjust their prices based upon that. Make sure you're dealing with someone reputable, read reviews, ask people what their experiences have been, but definitely shop around. There's a lot to consider when you are buying silver and gold, but one thing I know that's crystal clear is what an honor it is that I have you. Yes, you. There's one you right now, right here in the basement with me. I hope you feel comfortable here. I hope you found a little refuge in the storm, and I hope you decide to come back. Now let's get back to the video. Are you one of those all or nothing people? It's either black or white. Well, don't be that way with your precious metals. Don't pile in all at once. You're taking a big risk because the price of the metals, as we know, can fluctuate wildly. If you have a big chunk of capital you want to commit to precious metals, that's great, but buy your silver, buy your gold on a schedule, maybe over a 6-month period, maybe over a 12-month period. Now that brings us to the opposite point. Don't be frozen and do nothing either, thinking you're going to get a better price in a month or 2 months or 6 months. That might work out for you, but you also might miss the boat on what we think could be a tremendous rally in the prices of silver and gold. Don't fall for FOMO. Are you one of those sensitive people? I can be a little sensitive, okay? So watch what you say in those comments below. I can get 15 compliments in the course of a day, but one critical word, I can focus on that. We don't want to be that way. We want to be emotionally stable, especially when it comes to buying our precious metals. FOMO, fear of missing out. If the price does start to take off, and it did kind of do that for us over the last 6-7 weeks, don't chase the price. Have a set plan in terms of how and when you will buy your precious metals, and in the long run, you're going to come out far ahead. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing 2 of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has 0 debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects. Do you have something in your life that someone once said to you that has just stuck in your mind for years and years, even decades? You know, for me, it was when I was in college. There was this guy who started to call me Big Head Ron because he said I had a big head. I'll never forget that. And I love him, and I bet he's watching right now. But then I went off on a study abroad program, and there was this other guy, and out of the blue, he started calling me Jughead because he said I have a big head. I even went to my doctor and I said, is my head bigger than normal? He measured it and assured me everything was okay. Those guys were just joking around, but we got to remember the nice things and the fun things that people say to us, right? I mentioned this earlier. It's easy to remember the criticisms that we receive, but a lot of us, and I know this is true for you too, you get a lot more compliments. Now let's get back to this discussion about precious metals. Another mistake you can make is having too much of your net worth invested in precious metals, going completely all in on precious metals, or too little of your net worth invested in precious metals. There's all kinds of recommendations, right? For me personally, I feel comfortable around the 30 to 40% range when I add up metals that I may have plus investments in mining stocks. I kind of group that all together, but you don't want to go completely crazy, 100%, max out the credit cards, run up all the debt just to get metal. You could find yourself in a rather precarious position. You definitely want to avoid buying unicorn fart dust silver or gold for that matter. What is that? These big ETFs here in the United States, SLV, GLD. Look, I'm no expert on either of them, but there's a lot of suspicion, and you can do your own research on this as to whether or not those ETFs actually have 100% physical metal backing. Look, I'm not making the call. All I'm saying is do your research, and me, personally, I would avoid that form of unicorn, fart dust, silver, and gold. For most people, I would recommend avoiding the numismatic coins altogether. Unless you really know what you're talking about, if you try to buy rare coins and you're actually trying to buy silver or gold or platinum, palladium coins for that matter as well, and you don't know what you're doing, you're likely going to pay way too much. If your goal is to collect metal, buy bars, buy rounds, buy some of the reasonably priced sovereign mint coins. Do yourself a big favor. Don't even tell your friends or family that you're buying gold or silver. They'll find out soon enough on their own. Most of them, I hate to break this to you, they don't give two toots about gold and silver because 99.9% of the population, at least here in the United States of America, doesn't care. Trust me, though, there'll be a day when they do care, when the price is much, much higher, and they won't be able to find any physical metal. They'll come to you for advice and counsel. Unfortunately, it'll likely be too late by then. Now, I understand. You care about your friends, you care about your family. You can mention it to them, but do yourself a favor, don't drive yourself crazy trying to convert them to silver and gold enthusiasts like you and me. This next one's going to be hard for you, but it's critical. Don't think about your metals in terms of, don't value them in terms of fiat, paper, electronic, unicorn, fart dust, whatever you want to call it. Don't think about the value in euros or dollars or anything else for that matter. Think about your metals in terms of ounces. How many ounces of silver do you have? And finally, my friend, don't get arrogant. There's always a risk or an opportunity in the precious metal sector that we don't know about. Remain open, remain willing to learn. That's key for us because things do change and we will need to adjust our sails. I'll keep adjusting my sails with you, hopefully back here in the basement when you come back to visit me. Until next time, you be well. It's free to subscribe to my channel. You can also turn on that little bell. That way you'll get notified every time I put out a new video.